This is TWiT.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Can I ask about a different Apple story that confuses the hell out of me?
Yeah.
Kia? Apple?
Yeah.
Kia?
I can explain Kia. So look, if your Apple computer, you have a massive hit in the iPhone that's been driving revenue for more than a decade. It's just outpaces everything you've ever done before. There has to be intense pressure from stakeholders and customers, frankly, to do the next big thing, right, Owen? I think that's a lot of what these rumors we're seeing is about, is that Apple is striving mightily, spending a lot of its big multi-billion, $100 billion cash hoard on trying to find the next big thing.
I think I can answer the Kia question with one word: Foxconn. Apple is not a manufacturer.
They don't want to make it. And you know what? I wouldn't buy a car Apple manufactured. It would
True,
be,
but as a brand? I mean, Renault,
No, it's not the brand. So
Fiat?
Here's the reason Kia. And I think this is what Owen's about to say. And by the way, this is a rumor that comes out of a Korean site. This is, as sketch a rumor as you can get, although it kind of follows on a Hyundai, which is Kia's parent company, announcing foolishly that they were talking to Apple shortly. I'm sure anybody who saw this, I certainly did, thought that was strategically stupid. And they immediately retracted it within hours. Oh, no, I'm sure Apple's talking to a lot of people. I'm sure they got a call from Cupertino saying, hey, if you want to do business with us, here's lesson number 1. Shut the hell up. Nevertheless, Kia, Hyundai have a kind of mature electric platform that's fairly well known. They've been doing electric cars for a while. You need a manufacturing partner, like you said, Owen.
True. Owen, you're right about that.
Yeah, and if according to the rumor, Apple wants to make 100,000 vehicles per year when they release this in 3 years. You're going to need somebody like Kia who knows how to do that. It took Tesla quite a while to ramp up to that size. Go ahead, Owen. I'm sorry.
Oh, also Ford, Toyota, General Motors, they've got
busy.
too much ego, right?
They're busy.
No, I mean,
you're right
even if they had spare manufacturing capacity, they would not want to cede, the ground to Apple. Think about when Apple got into the iPhone. They partnered
Verizon said no way.
Yeah, they partnered with Singular. It wasn't even AT&T then.
Right.
It's like the also ran of wireless companies.
This is why it's so good to have your historical perspective here. Yeah.
Yeah. It's, Singular was willing to do what Apple wanted. And, I think whoever ends up making an Apple car, if there really is going to be an Apple car, is going to be someone who is willing to, cede ground to Apple.
Kia also has a factory in Georgia, the United States, not Tbilisi. So that's a big selling point these days for Apple. So they could make these cars in the U.S. It would probably be, I'm sure it'd be electric. The question is, would they also be self-driving, or how self-driving they would be?
I mean, they'll be as self-driving as every other car, which, the whole industry is going towards self-driving gradually.
Right.
So they'll be right along there with there. But I think that Apple, if people are still confused about why Apple will get in the car industry, I think Apple understands that in the future, a car will be primarily a content consumption experience.
Yes.
The transportation part of it is kind of a commodity. So who cares?
Yeah.
Your body is going to be shuffled around. It's no big deal. Cars resemble each other so much these days in terms of their internals and their functionality. All that stuff is commodity. What isn't commodity is the experience, the user experience, the customer experience, the content consumption experience, why your body is being moved around. And so I think that people have a hard time getting their head around that reality. But once you accept that once you're in a self-driving car or a mostly self-driving car, your mind is on other things besides watching the road, right? So you're going to be doing VR experiences. You're going to be listening to music, watching concerts, chatting with people in HD video and all that kind of stuff. Apple is not going to cede, 30% of people's content consumption life by not being in the cars. They're going to make sure they're in the
will Google or Amazon or any of them. Yeah,
exactly. And so I think that's the key insight that that tells us why they're getting in the car business, and also why it's conceivable that they would partner with a company like Kia, which is a subsidiary, I think, of Hyundai. It doesn't matter. As long as you have batteries that work and you have the factory capacity and all that kind of stuff, it doesn't matter who the car maker is. That's not the important part of a car in the future.
Apple being Apple, it'll probably be stick shift just to be difficult.
No, there'll be no buttons.
Right, exactly.
Mike, this is incredibly depressing and dystopian, because basically what you're saying is we're going to be getting in cars that drive themselves, and we're going to be tuning into these, AR, VR experiences. Basically, the car is going to become like a little mini VR studio, and that's the only way we're going to interact with people. Is basically we're pretending that we're taking rides with each other.
Well, I think we're going to be immersed in augmented reality and entertainment and infotainment and HD sort of video interaction with people and surfing the internet, all that kind of stuff all the time. And it's just like the future has always been. It's going to be way better and way worse at the same time.
Would it be safe to say that what Apple's core? See, you always try to understand what a company's core business is. It's said that the railways would have done better if they'd understand that they weren't in the railway business, they were in the transportation business. Is it safe to say Apple's core business is experiences, is delivering experiences?
Leo, I'm going to correct you there. The smartest railways figured out that they're in the real estate business.
Yeah, that's right.
Because when you connect two nodes with a transportation network, suddenly the real estate on either end becomes more valuable.
It always comes down to that. Radio stations are in the real estate business. Movie theaters are in the real estate business. Podcasters, if they're smart, are in the real estate business. Which is
the McDonald's brothers learned
McDonald's is a real estate business.
In the real estate business.
So
here's the
what
business
is Apple making more valuable?
Apple is in the content business. So half of their, not half, most of their business is in the content consumption experience business. And the minority of their business is in the content creation business. That's the way I think is a good way to understand Apple.
Or experiences is another way to put it.
It's about, they're in the content business.
Their hardware facilitates, brings you the content, those experiences. And it makes perfect sense if they're going to develop a car, it's a content vehicle.
It's a phone with wheels.
Yeah. Why Hyundai? Hyundai unveiled, in fact, this is Roberto Baldwin writing. We got to get Roberto back on the show. He now works at Car and Driver. Hyundai unveiled in December their EV platform. They plan to have 23 global electric vehicles by 2025. The platform, which is called eGMP, and it's Hyundai and Kia, can deliver as much as 600 horsepower, which means they can do high performance as well as, get around cars. They're targeting 310 miles of range. This is a competitive, they call this in the business sled, that you can build a car on that goes right up against what GM's doing. In fact, one of the things you're going to see on the Super Bowl, if we ever get to watch it today, is GM basically making the announcement that they are turning into an electric vehicle company. They announced this at CES. You'll also see Audi responding to the Will Ferrell commercial. I can't wait to see both of those. So this, it's pretty clear that the big three automakers. I'm next week going to take a delivery of a electric Mustang. Finally, the big three automakers are clearly seeing the future as electric. Apple is, and it makes perfect sense that Apple would go with somebody who has a platform, manufacturing ability, a factory in the U.S. Even if this rumor is wrong, and it's kind of coming from a less than reliable source, it makes so much sense that I think it's probably true. Much like,
so you have Google and Ford, you have GM going electric, you have Apple going with Kia.
That was this week. Google and Ford announced a partnership to do Google software on Ford's new vehicles, not the Mustang, but coming in the next couple of years. That's a very good point.
And I wonder really about the Germans too, because they're not going to sit back.
No. Who would they deal with?
Themselves.